thought I'd meet somebody, but I don't know, it's been so long. Maybe I'm just supposed to be single. No, you got to be confident that God's going to finish what He started. Don't talk defeat. You need to be saying something like, I know God's going to bring somebody great into my life. I can't wait to meet him. They may be in this building right now. Quit looking around. It may happen tonight, next week, next year. One thing I know, it will happen. One translation says, be confident God will bring you to a flourishing finish. That means God's not only going to finish what He started, but He's going to do it bigger and better than you ever dreamed of. Marcos' mom had a dream of touching her community. But now, because Sunday came, through her son, she's touching the whole world. God didn't just complete the promise, He brought her to a flourishing finish. I know a little lady by the name of Dawn. We grew up here at the church together. After she got married, she and her husband had a desire to have a baby. Tried and tried, went through all the fertility treatments with no success. Year after year went by. Dawn was the head of our children's ministry at that time. When my father died and I began pastoring, at that time she had been believing to have this baby for over 20 years already. And I never really talked to Dawn that much except saying hello every once in a while. But one day we were in a meeting together talking about the children's ministry. And she made the comment, I've got a good assistant trained because when I have my baby, I'm going to be out for a little while. After the meeting, I asked my sister Lisa, she was in it too, if Dawn was pregnant. I thought I had missed something. Lisa just smiled and said, no, she's just still believing for that baby. And me, being the great man of faith that I am, I thought to myself, Dawn, you have been believing for this baby forever. Maybe God wants to do it another way. Maybe you should just adopt children. No, Dawn had a made-up mind. The promise was in her. She was confident it was going to happen. And that's why you should not let other people talk you out of your dreams.
That's right.
God didn't put the promise in them, He put the promise in you. Really, only you know what's on the inside. Instead of complaining about it, about how long it was taking, Dawn would go around thanking God that one day it would come to pass. 29 years later, Dawn went to the doctor's office for a checkup. He said, congratulations, you're not going to have one baby, you're going to have twins. God brought her to a flourishing finish. I know some of you are thinking, God, please don't flourish me that way. But I love the fact that God does not abort dreams. Some of you at one time, like Dawn, you knew you were going to have a child, or you knew you were going to get well. You knew you were going to get out of that problem. But now, because it's been a long time, you don't see things changing. You're tempted to think that it's not going to happen, but no, get in agreement with God. Start thanking Him every day that He's bringing those promises to pass. Even when it looks like a dream has died, know this, God can resurrect dead dreams. Just like God raised Christ from the dead, He can breathe new life into your relationships, new life into your finances, new life into your health. Instead of being discouraged, you need to go through the day saying, Father, thank you that you are finishing what you started in my life. This is one of the reasons we don't see God's best. We give up on our promises too soon. We have to learn to trust God's timing. Most often, it doesn't happen as quickly as we would like. There's always going to be a period of testing. Are we going to get discouraged? Are we going to start complaining? Are we going to make decisions that hinder that promise? I think about how David, when he was anointed to be king, he was 17 years old. But he didn't take the throne until he was 30. I'm sure during those 13 years, there were many times that he wondered if it was going to happen. I'm sure he was tempted to be frustrated, tempted to even feel like a failure, thinking, God, did I hear you wrong? I thought for sure you said you'd do something great with my life, but nothing's going my way. Here he was almost 30 years old, and year after year goes by, he sees no sign of the promise coming to pass. David had to fight those negative thoughts just like we do. Thoughts that were saying, David, you didn't hear God right. It's never going to happen. Just settle where you are. The battle was taking place in his thinking. To make matters worse, one day a man by the name of Nabal insulted David and his men. They had been protecting Nabal's property. David told his men to go ask Nabal for some food and water. And when they did, Nabal was extremely rude. He said, I'm not going to give you anything. I never asked you to protect me. Just get off my property. When David heard this, it just set him off. He was ready to let him have it. He told his men, pack up. We're going to go wipe out Nabal and anyone that's even halfway associated with him. I don't believe it was so much what Nabal did. That wasn't such a great offense, but it was magnified because David was already frustrated because the promise had not yet come to pass. Here he knows in his heart that he's supposed to be a king, but he's living out in the wilderness like a pauper. He is discouraged, he's frustrated, he's distracted, he's lost his focus, and he's about to make a decision that could hinder his destiny. As he's headed toward Nabal's house, frustrated, upset, God sent a young lady by the name of Abigail. She was a wise woman. Abigail was Nabal's wife. She met him on the road. She had gifts in her hands. She said, David, why are you about to blow your whole kingdom on a fool like my husband Nabal? Are you going to allow him to stop you from doing what God wants you to do? You're our next king. You're destined to do something great. Are you going to blow it on something so small as this? She not only talked sense into David, she spoke faith into his future. She reminded him who he was and the promise God put on the inside. At that moment, David turned around. He said, you're right. I've got a destiny to fulfill. The promise is still in me, and I'm not going to let the fact that it's taken a long time cause me to get frustrated and make decisions that I'm going to regret later on. He passed the test. Now I've learned God will always send you an Abigail before you give up on your dream. Some of you tonight, deep down in your heart, you've got the promise in you. God's calling is on your life. You know you've got a bright future, a future filled with blessings, increase, promotion, but you're not seeing any of that happen right now. You're tempted to get discouraged, frustrated, maybe even make decisions like the promise is never going to come to pass. But today, God sent me to be your Abigail. I want to remind you of who you are and what you have on the inside. You are a child of the Most High God. You have royal blood flowing through your veins. I thought I could make it, y'all. But it was getting good, wasn't it? I'm gonna still get it out. Didn't want to mess my makeup up tonight. You've got royal blood flowing through your veins. You have been crowned with honor and favor. Not only that, you have seeds of greatness put in you by the Creator of the universe. You are destined to leave your mark on our generation. It may not have happened yet, but the promise is still in you. Don't be careless toward your future. Don't make decisions that you're going to regret. Decisions that you're going to regret later on. It's easy, like David, in the heat of the moment, to want to kind of blow somebody off. In other words, it's easy to walk out of a marriage. It's easy on the Fridays of life, when business is slow, when it's taking a long time, when everybody's getting promoted except you, to think, well, fine, I'll never get ahead. I'll just start goofing off like the other people at work. But this marriage is never going to last. I'll just try something else. I'll never get well. I'm just going to accept it. No, listen to the Abigail God sent you. You will get well. You will get promoted. You will be restored. You will be vindicated. You will see your dreams come to pass. It may be Friday, but Sunday is coming. And when it's your time to be promoted, to be vindicated, to be restored, all the forces of darkness cannot stop it from happening. God's looking for people that have a made-up mind. People that will trust His timing.